Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Takeover Tuesday. I'm glad to be here today. As always, got a special treat for you. Got a fabulous guest that I'm going to introduce in just a minute. But before we get started, if you have never viewed Takeover Tuesday, let me tell you a little bit about what this platform is. It is a platform where business owners come to share their story, share their products and services, and just get support from the local community. This is also a platform to connect community. I can't tell you how many people have been on the show or watched the show and afterwards came to me and said, gosh, I started working with this person, or I connected with this person and built a new friendship. So it definitely is about building community and just working together on as much as we can. Without further ado, I'm going to bring in our special guest for today. Good morning, Dominique.
Good morning. How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm super excited to be on your show.
Me too. I'm so excited. So I was just with Dominique is in. So this is Dominique Hamilton. And she is the founder of the Black Girl Magic Museum, located right now in Dallas. And I happened to get fortunate enough to be with her a couple weeks ago. So we had a fun time. That was a fun day. I have not seen the museum yet. I'm pictures are coming, I know, in video, so I'm excited. But before we get into talking about the museum itself, I'd love to talk about you and just share some about you.
Absolutely. So I'm Dominique, and first off, like you said, I'm the founder of the Black Girl Magic. It's a pop-up museum. We're launching in Dallas, Texas, on November 28th, and just I worked in nonprofit for years. I've always had a passion for young Black girls, girls of color, really teaching them to embrace and love themselves. And really, even before working in nonprofit, I worked in my church growing up, dealing with young girls, and really just, even when I was young, just really teaching people to love who they are, embrace who they are, and also know the history of who we are. So the idea came to me this year to create this, after I went to so many pop-up museums and didn't see representation in those museums. So I said, I would like to create something for us so that young Black girls know who they are and who they can be.
I love it. I love it. And when did you start this process?
Earlier this year, I started kind of outlining the vision for it. And then, unfortunately, when I saw everything that happened with Breonna Taylor, it really it took a hit for me. I'm from Mississippi originally. I moved when Hurricane Katrina hit to Georgia. And I said, I'm kind of tired of seeing in the media, this is how we're portrayed, and not seeing that, we could be anything we want to be. And I just really took my journal out of my counter, and I just started back writing, writing the things that I have learned about so many amazing Black women, coming from a dance background, thinking about Misty Copeland, Simone Biles, and, being from the South, we have majorette dancing. If you go to New Orleans, you see the tap dancing and different things like that. So, letting Black girls know that there's so much culture and history behind us. So.
Yes, I love it. Let me ask you, what does the museum look like, or what's it starting to look like now that you're getting closer to launching? Tell us about the rooms, tell us about the setup.
Absolutely. So one of the rooms that I really love is the Say My Name room. And so many people like, oh, they think they know what it's about. And then we had a soft, like, launching type thing, a photo shoot on last Sunday. And everyone walked into the Say My Name room, and it was a little girl with two puff balls in her hair, and they were able to write their names on the wall. And basically that wall represents every girl that has that unique name that people sometimes don't know how to pronounce, don't know how to say, or we're even ashamed. You know, my mom, it's three girls in my family. It's Dominique, Traisha, and Kiera. And we were always like, why? And as we grew up, we realized, you know, our name has so much power. You know, we don't know the things that our parents went through when they named us these names. And to really walk into your name, correct people if they, you know, misspell, you know, don't pronounce your name right or misspell it, and it could be done with grace, you know. So that's that Say My Name room is really to embrace who you are and embrace your name. And also we have a leave it on the wall, in that a chalk wall, where you can write anything that was ever said about your name that you held on to. We want you to leave it on that wall when you walk out of that room. So that is one of my favorite rooms. And then my other room that I really love is I'm Not My Hair. As women of color, just women in general, you know, I know so many women, we struggle with our hair. Is it straight enough? Is it curly enough? Is it long enough? Is it short enough? Is it frizzy today, or what, just whatever? And really just saying, you know, no matter what your hair look like, no matter, you know, the texture, even if we have a bad day, hair day, you know, embrace your hair. And my hair is not your expectation. That, you know, I'm going to embrace and love who I am. And we have also the Say Her Name room, and that's just to honor the legacy of Breonna Taylor, Sandra Bland, and Miss Jefferson, who's actually out of DFW, which, you know, Dallas Fort Worth, and just really honoring their legacy and the impact that they have had on all of us, especially Breonna Taylor this year. You know, I think we all brought her in to our lives. She's like a sister to all of us. I feel like for me, I feel like I knew her, even though I never met her. And just really also leaving that, you know, the trauma. We have some vases where you can write, you know, stories of how you felt when all of these things happened this year, the trauma that you endured, and to leave that there and know that, you know, we're all in this together. So that's one of the rooms. And then we also have one of my favorites is the melanin room, where we have melanin boxes where you can get in and take your pictures, kind of similar to the Barbie boxes. So that's really exciting. The little girls love that, to put their crowns on, to put their tutus on, and take those beautiful shots, to know that they are beautiful, they're amazing. You don't have to live up to anybody's expectations of what beauty is. When you look in the mirror, you need to know that we come in all shades, colors, sizes, and, you know, just love who you are. So yes.
I'm loving all of this. And here's what I hear is it's all part of like self-acceptance and healing. And that's what I love, is that I feel like the museum represents just love, you know, loving yourself, loving others, and just going through that process of healing.
Absolutely. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
We want to be healed and to have a good time. And that's another thing. Like, I want people to come and learn. Like, a lot of the museums I went to, you learn some, but for the younger kids, they're like, okay, another room, another picture. And we want them to have fun while they're learning about the impact of their history, the things that we have overcome, the strides that we have made in American history. You know, even globally, we have such an impact that many do not talk about.
Yeah, I agree. And can I just take a moment? We've got some viewers here, and I want to definitely shout them out to Annalise. Good morning. Najla, Kyla. Good morning. Thank you, ladies, for joining us. Happy to see you here. So let's talk about what do you have in the rooms that is interactive?
So the really cool thing with I Am Not My Hair, the girls can come, or women, whoever, with me. I don't know how to crochet or anything. So we have a cool setup where you could come and learn how to crochet the hair on site. So I think that's really, really cool. I'm going to actually take that up and try to see, can I learn something during these 14 weeks? So that's really, really beautiful. Inside of the inside of the Say My Name room, like I said, you can use the chalk to write, you know, in your, you know, the things that was said about you. But we also have a magic mirror with affirmations playing. And we also have QR codes where you can look up and get information about each and every person that we have posted. So that is a really, really good. In the dance room, we have Missy Copeland up. We have Simone Biles up. You actually can get on that ballet bar and dance your heart out while you're looking in the mirror. So that is really, really amazing. In the in the melanin room, we have the marquee letters where you can have a whole bunch of photo ops with the different letters and different things like that. So we have a hidden figures room where we're honoring Katherine Johnson and different Black astronauts. So you can also just learn a lot of history, read some books. We even have a small yoga room to teach all of us that we need to take time back to reset, refresh, meditate, get centered, and also to take time to love ourselves. You know, we talk about self-care, but how often do we actually exercise self-care? So we even put that in the museum to take that time, get your journal, get your tea, whatever you need, and get your yoga mat and take some self-care. So that is
Yeah.
really, really fun.
Key, especially for, not that the males don't need self-care, but I think for women and girls, I'm speaking generally, but we tend to not take care of ourselves, and we're always last in line to take care of ourselves. So I think for girls and women, that's important to just honor ourselves. I think we a lot of times put ourselves, second, third, fourth, fifth in line.
Absolutely, absolutely. And also a lot of them, we are in the era of Instagram. We love photos. We love to take pictures. We have so many backdrops and Instagram worthy photos. So you're going to come out of the museum with a whole gallery. I have told so many people it's cheaper than booking a studio session. Bring your photographer out and get as many pictures as you can and share to the world, but also leave with new knowledge. And for our young girls, I really was intentional about that. Not only do I want them to come, Sunday, we literally had to drag some out kicking and screaming. They did not want to leave. And they were also fixing each other's crowns. Like we talk about fixing the crowns, but the little girls, they were there helping each other get dressed, helping each other fix their crowns, fix their hair bows, and really teaching them sisterhood at such a young age. So it's not just a place to come to take photos, but to also learn from our children, because our children are the greatest teachers.
Sure are, sure are. And coming as a past educator, I know that better than anybody for sure. Let's talk about, you mentioned earlier coming in, or how is that going to work? When are you launching? How do folks get tickets? Give us the process.
Absolutely. So we launch on November 28th, and everyone can go to blackgirlmagicmuseum.com to purchase tickets. Due to COVID, we're only allowing 25 customers, people in an hour. We will have a sanitizing station for each room that you go into. So you can sanitize when you go in, sanitize when you go out. Also with our props, they will all be sanitized frequently and all masks are also allowed. Masks are also required if you're not taking pictures. If you're not taking a picture, you have to have your mask on. So we are definitely doing that. And basically, yes, 25 people an hour. We're open Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And we launch November 28th.
I am super thrilled. So when can folks go online to order tickets? Did I miss that? How does that work?
Yes, so they go to blackgirlmagicmuseum.com and we
Okay.
have a section that says tickets, and they can go in and order their tickets. Right now, we even have group rates for
Mm.
people to order groups, and we have our pre-sale tickets. So I'm advising everyone to go buy their tickets now while they're at the pre-sale rate. And basically get one. And you even can, if you can't make it to the museum, you also can also purchase for someone that might not be able to afford to go at this time.
I love that. I love that. So you talked earlier about your inspiration a little bit. Can you tell us what motivated you to actually put this into motion? Because I know there's people out there who have a thought, an idea, an inspiration, but they're struggling with just taking that leap because it's scary, right? What,
Absolutely.
how did you get to finally take that leap?
To be very honest with you, I know everybody looks for a feel good story, but I have three nieces, and two of my nieces are 6 and 8, and they are literally the apple of my eye. And they're both they're biracial, and they struggle so much with who they are, loving who they are, and not really being happy with their curls, their kinks, their skin tone, just everything about them. And they're so beautiful. And, I would ask them certain questions about, even they say, well, they call me TT. They're like, TT, a lot of people do not look like me, or I don't know what they don't see representation like we think they do. And I went on Instagram and I start trying to find people that resemble them or even history of people. And I'm like, why do I have to search and dig this hard? Why is this, is not we're in 2020 and we're still dealing with the same things. And I said, you know what? Instead of complaining, I can create. I can visualize what I know is needed, what I know is not there. And then I also have a niece that is now 13 that struggles with who she is and also just being a Black girl. She doesn't feel confident with being Black. And I always tell them that it is I feel it's a privilege to be, who you are and to also embrace and love who you are. And they were like, well, no one else does, so why should we? Why, that's how they feel. And, they're kids, but we have to listen to our children. And also when I had my nonprofit, the same thing, young Black girls were not happy or knew the history of why we should be happy. And I say, something, COVID has hit. I'm at home, a lot, and I have time to really develop this because I don't want my nieces and the girls I mentor to feel the way that me and my siblings felt, that, not really being happy with who we are or not seeing representation when we go places. So I wanted to create a space that little girls could see why you should be happy to be who you are.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's that's so important because I think that sets the foundation, right? From day one, if we don't have that foundation, it just impacts our lives in so many other ways and trickles for the negative, into other areas if we're not loving ourselves.
Absolutely.
So you talked earlier about, you mentioned the space and you also mentioned it's a pop-up. So with that being said, what are your plans for the future for the pop-up?
Absolutely. So we have 4 cities that are concrete right now. We're after Dallas. Dallas is going to be 14 weeks. We're going to Atlanta, Georgia, Detroit, Michigan, Memphis, Tennessee, and I'm originally from Mississippi. So I was like, I can't do a Black Girl Magic pop-up museum without going to my hometown. So we're also going to Mississippi. So those are the 4 stops that we have so far, and we will be expanding out in 2021 and 2022 to 10 locations total.
This is everything, everything. So with the pop-ups, are you going to put everything down in the city after the tours, after it's done, or is it going to stay up? How's that going to work?
So we're really deciding about that. Even with Dallas, so many people said, "Oh, you cannot take this down." Sunday, we had some people come in, and they're like, "This could be for field trips, for just historical, not to take away from any other museums." They're like, we go to a lot of museums where we learn about slavery and things like that. This museum is talking about royalty, it's talking about the here, the now, the things we have accomplished, and it's so needed, not just for 14 weeks. So with so many people telling us the same thing, we're really considering in some cities to keep it up. We definitely want a location where people can go on field trips, people can come into town long term and experience the magic.
So like a hub, that would be dope to have like a hub and then
Absolutely.
have it all around the country.
Absolutely.
The
Yes.
vision. The vision. I like it. Good morning. Danya's joined us. She said she is going. She is in there. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. She's out in Texas right now. I won't give her location, but
Oh,
she's
that's
out in
awesome.
Texas right now. So I know she's definitely going.
Yes, absolutely.
You you mentioned earlier the process. I want to ask for we know this is a Black Girl Magic Museum. What about the young boys and gentlemen? What does that look like if they visit?
You see the royalty in the Black girls that you come and see. You're going to learn why you need to respect us, why you need to love us and embrace us and know who we are, and not what the media tried to portray. That's what you're going to learn. And you're also going to learn that we have something for you coming too.
Mhm. Amen. I like it. I like it. I mean, this is for the older general, like, 18 and up. You never know who you might meet there. I'm just saying.
Oh yes, that too. Somebody might need you to take their photo, so get them to come out.
Yeah, if I'm a young man, I'm probably going to the Black Girl Magic Museum. I'm just saying.
That's a good marketing tactic. I like that.
It really is. I'm just saying. Hi Jackie. Oh my gosh. This is a friend of mine, dear, from way, way, way back. So I'm so glad to see you on, Jackie. She says, I love this and it's so needed. Yes, it is. Um, so before we go, is there anything that you're dying to share with us that I missed, that I didn't cover or ask you, something that you just really think is important to share?
One of the things I definitely think is important to share is, once you come, know that it's not just an experience, but it is healing. It is Black, and one of the things I do tell people too, we couldn't cover all Black girl magic. All Black girl magic is not inside the museum. We're gonna try, every city is gonna be a little different. So you can't come to Dallas and say, well, that wasn't in the Atlanta museum. We are very intentional of adding a piece of each city to the museum. So each museum will definitely be different depending on what city they're in. And we have the quote from Kendrick Lamar in our royalty room, I got loyalty and royalty inside my DNA. And when people leave out, I want them to know that we have royalty in our DNA. And as Black women, we are loyal and know that we stand in that. And we saw even this year when George Floyd and Breonna Taylor, when those devastating things happened, we rose up as a people and were in the street. Even if it wasn't in the street, we were donating to the cause. We were standing up. We went Black on our Instagram and stuff for a day. We wrote letters to Congress. We voted so many people out this year who did not know who we were. And know that when you come into this museum, you will see the excellence of being a Black girl and a Black woman.
There you go. I think that's a wonderful, phenomenal note to end on. But I do want to, Annalise is asking about events.
Oh yes, so we have some curated events. So like one of our Q events is like tutus and tiaras. So the little girls can come out to the events. They can meet some new girlfriends while they're there, and just really have a good time while they're being educated on the museum. We're working on some partnerships with a lot of nonprofits in the area, and also just a networking event. If you're in the Dallas area and you're new to the area, you don't have any friends, we're putting together events where you could come out and meet some Black women of Texas. So we have a lot. We have over 40 events that we're rolling out starting December 1st all the way up to March.
Oh, that's important. I'm glad she said something.
Yes, I heard about that. Yes.
Well, what I'm going to do, as always, I will put your website in the comments, and they should be able to get all information there. Is there any other information that we need to share out?
If you guys have any questions or just want to, contact me, my email is info@itsmymelanin.com. So you can email me anytime to just get any information. And also, if you have a nonprofit, anything serving the community, we also have discount rates for you guys.
Nice. I will make sure and put that on the comments so that everybody can go back to this and reference if they need to.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Oh, Dominique, I'm so excited. And I'm definitely going to see you for real soon at the museum.
Yes,
So
absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. I'm seeing December, so
That's bring your daughter so she can take some beautiful pictures. She told me she loves pictures, so it's a great place.
yes, yes, I am thrilled. Couldn't be more happy for you. Congratulations on this because as a small business owner, I know what pain and effort and everything that goes into this. It's a lot and it can be overwhelming. So I just want to tell you that I'm inspired by what you're doing and congratulations. Like it means a lot. So I think this is going to be super successful and I'm just excited to see what happens.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Jess. I really appreciate you having me on your show.
Yes, yes. All right. Until next time,
Yes,
everybody out
absolutely.
there, yeah, I'm wishing you well. I say this every time, but I genuinely mean it. There are so many people facing different challenges, especially with COVID, and then there's layers on those challenges, and then there's just everyday life stuff. So, if for those of you facing any tough challenge right now, I'm sending good energy to you. Keep going, keep the faith, and stay inspired. Until next time, this is Takeover Tuesdays. See you next week.
Yes, thank you. Bye.